Hi, I'm Seema from Lotions and Potions Virtual Workshops. Today we're going to be making some bath salt. I know bath salt's pretty basic, but it's always a good habit to have a notebook with you so you can write down exactly what you did in case you make something wonderful and you need to reproduce it en masse for people. Or, if you want to try something new and mess with the formulation, it's nice to know where you started. So I've got my little notebook, blank pages, and so I'm just going to write down what we do today. So the first thing we're going to need is organic sea salt. So I have some here. And then the next thing we're going to use, of course, is Epsom salts. I can show you it here. It's a much finer grain. And dendritic salt. This is also another type of salt. What this is for a scent fixative, so your scent in your bath salt stays a lot longer. And we have baking soda. Baking soda is great to absorb the scent as well, and it just feels good in your bath. It soothes the skin. And if you want, you can add petals. Like these are rose petals that you can add. I do recommend crushing them up before you put them in bath salt, just because they will get caught in the jets of a jet tub. Put that back. And of course, we've got our equipment, our mortar and pestle for crushing the flowers, and our measuring devices. So the logbook is a science thing. I have a chemistry degree, and this is just a habit of mine. So first of all, we're going to write down what we're doing, which is bath salt, and the date, and our measurements. So the first thing we're going to do is take our empty container and our salt and our half cup measuring cup. The reason we use organic sea salt is because it doesn't contain iodine. And this used to be the case, but now what we're finding more and more is that sea salt is containing iodine. So make sure you read your packages. Make sure it doesn't contain iodine, because iodine stings on any open wounds or sores or dry skin that's split. It really does sting. So make sure that it's actually an organic sea salt without the iodine that you're purchasing. Next, what we're going to do is measure out our Epsom salts. Oh, we should write that down. Bath salt. Half cup, sea salt. And then our Epsom salts. Half cup. It doesn't have to be exact. It's not that big of a deal. No adverse chemical reactions will be happening with the dry salt, so no need to worry. So that's about our half cup. In there. Okay, so now we have, this is like the basis of our bath salt, mostly. A lot of commercial bath salts, that's all they'll have in it. What I do like to recommend is that we do put in some dendritic salt. Dendritic salt we won't use as much. But what this is, it's a refined sodium chloride. So it's a refined regular salt with a little bit of a little extra chemical in it to make it able to absorb scents a lot better. We're going to put about 30 mils into our little cup here. So that should absorb our scent quite well. And then we have our baking soda, and we'll do the same for it. We'll put another 30 grams in, 30 mils. Six. So we'll just catch up in our book. write down what we did. 1 cup of salt. And what was it? 30 grams of sea salt, or of 30 grams of dendritic salt and Epsom salt. Your lab book needs to only be legible to you so that if anything happens, you know what you put in, you know what you did. So if anybody complains, you have your book to back you up. Probably not a big thing in your home kitchen lab, but as I said, old habits die hard. Baking soda. Good. And so next, what we're going to do is we're going to put our flowers in. Grab the rose and our mortar and pestle. So we're just going to put a little bit into the crucible here. There you can see they're all in there nicely. That's not too much. You can measure it out if you want. You really don't have to. And then we This is a pretty good texture to have, a pretty good grind. If you're worried about it, put it through a sifter, and it'll catch all the bigger pieces, and then you can crush it again. So we're just going to add it to our salt and baking soda mixture. And the reason why I chose this container is you can just snap the lid back on and then shake it. Good. So yeah, this just looks fantastic because you've got the different textures. You have your very coarse grains and you have your really fine grains as well. And because you have the dendritic in there, like it'll smell like rose for a really long time. If you like, you can add essential oils. They last a good long time too. What I do recommend for anything, any product you make, is to store in a cool, dark place. So if you have this in your bathroom, store it in the cupboard. Either that or put it into a little box or a bag or someplace dark, because that'll also help retain the scent. Especially if you don't use the dendritic salt, it can be difficult to find. It's not something widely available in the grocery store. So if you choose not to use it, then please put it into a dark container. Thank you very much for joining us for our bath salt demonstration. Our next demonstration will be bath bombs or bath fizzies, just to get it across the border or whatever. Thank you.